It's Stepping Stone 11, part of the Holistic Educational Therapy Support Programme for young people with challenging behaviours like autism, ADHD and similar conditions. Now, Stepping Stone 11 is about ourselves, and a lot of people come to me and say you can't do anything about conditions like ADHD because they're genetic, and then they just give up. We now know a lot more about genetic information than we did a few years ago. We know that this is information that's passed on from generation to generation, not just from parent to child, but from our cells as they are constantly replicating themselves into the new cells that are replacing who we are every few days to every few months. Now that information, something called DNA, which is made up in every single cell, that information can get damaged. It can get damaged by things like aspartame, which is an artificial sweetener, and that is known to destroy the genetic information. We know that genes can be activated and deactivated by certain things. So if we can support cells in a very innovative way that actually looks at the way doctors worked 100 years ago, but it wasn't fully understood then, in something like amino codes, where we put out a signal to the cell so that it can form itself in a proper pattern, and we can support those cellular patterns with very pure vegetable protein that we know actually helps increase concentration and focus, then we suddenly start to create a much healthier environment so that we can look at those genes not being activated or made worse by certain environmental signals. So a very simple approach, but with some very interesting results. Hit Stepping Stone 11.